Welcome. Hey, fuck. Yeah, we'll have to have people give us a tagline to start this, because we need something. But we are specularbg, and we're starting to do some review videos on board games, some new ones, maybe some old ones. My name is Ryan.
I'm Max.
And we're from Chicago. So the first game in our series of reviews is going to be Awari. This is a pretty recent game that I kickstarted maybe a year and a half ago or so, and we just recently got it. Everything you see here is part of the Deluxe. So what you're showing here is going to be some more upgraded components, but I think what we're gonna be doing here, and what our kind of hopes are, is to just create these reviews, and maybe in the future do more of like a round table with some friends to actually discuss and get into the minutia of, you know, mechanics and artwork and what we think is good, what works, what doesn't, maybe critique the games a bit. And you know, as we keep doing these, we'd like to possibly do some playthroughs. Where I would love to bring on guests, especially maybe game designers, for interviews while we play games. Maybe even some live streams if enough people like this. Do some game nights, and maybe even in the future, as we start developing some of our own games, do like live streams of game development. But I think it's time to get into this review. Max, take us away.
Yeah, Awari is a game by Thundergriff Games, and it's created by Michael Schacht.
We've now done this several times. I think you should know it.
Artwork is by Matsus Mizak. I butchered it, but
okay, you're getting better at it.
Yeah, I'm getting better. Anyway, it is a area control game. You are going to have 3 cards that you will be able to play 1 to 3 of, and you'll either do one of 2 actions. You'll either be able to put down a totem for scoring purposes later, or you'll be able to put down tokens for area control of the different regions on the map. And
that's pretty much the gist of
that's
the
basically
game.
all you're doing in the game.
It's a pretty basic, straightforward, but definitely a lot of strategy, which we'll discuss in a little bit here.
Yeah, but maybe we should talk about the artwork.
Yeah, let's first talk to art, because that's
garbage.
I think. Yeah, okay. Okay, I was gonna say the artwork in this game is something that definitely drew it to me right away. Like everything in this game is absolutely beautiful. It has this very interesting, like, abstract but like real feel to it. Like, especially if you like just looking at the cover here, you got this, like, the goddess here, but the way they use the colors and the blues and yellows really work together. Just on the cover, it's those complementary colors that this artwork just feels like a painting.
Yeah, and
it's fantastic.
The more you look at the cards too, there's more detail you notice, like with the little people and like the animals and stuff on the cards, and
they put a lot of effort into this, and it is
it's
beautiful. It's something that the artwork, and for actually a lot of games, is how I end up getting drawn to it and want to know more about it, is definitely the artwork. Will be something that I'll actually like want to look more into if it has fantastic art.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play an ugly game, but it helps.
Yeah,
but
nice. it helps me. It helps draw me to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And even just everything, the rule books, the maps, even the detail on the totems here on the deluxe pieces, the bags. Oh, I absolutely love it.
I mean, we guess we should just talk about the components of it, which are also pretty. And
this is, like I said before, a deluxe version, so it's pretty cool because it's almost like a sun drop.
Yeah,
which is like so nice, and
all the little shade on it.
Each one has its own unique design to it, which I guess one little complaint that we were saying was that the orange and yellow look so close together but
yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah,
Well, they're pretty close. They're hard to tell.
Yeah, but I think the design of them is definitely unique enough that you could pick it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not unforgivable, but it is. But I don't know that you're going to be playing full player. I don't think you're going to be playing this always with a full player count. We usually played it at 3 players, which was a really good player count, I think. But the components, everything you want to just pick up and touch and play with, and it comes with.
Everything has a great feel. Like even these little coins that you're using, which we'll get a close up of, but used to simply mark some scoring things are really nice. And
the bags,
the totems, the
tarot-sized cards, and it comes with multiple double-sided maps.
Each map is unique, and just the game came with how many maps? Oh my god! How many do you have there? 4 maps, double-sided, each one different, and quite unique. Layout is awesome. All the symbolism is pretty distinct and unique, so it's not hard. Things don't get quite lost in all of this, and in all the map and the colors.
Really, my only complaint I'd say, I think they knocked it out of the park with all this, except for the yellow and the orange are a little bit. But other than that, it's all it's all really nice. There's you don't even need all these bags, but they're really nice to have. They're great.
I mean, for someone who is all about deluxe pieces, this game hits it out of the park.
Yeah, and did they do a retail version, or is it?
There is a retail version, yeah. I believe there is some of these coins, and maybe the totems are cardboard.
Oh,
I'm
really?
I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look that up. But it even comes with this just cool tracker for just completely. It's not really that useful, other than like, okay, we're scoring at this particular area. Okay, now it's here. But it's just this really nice weighted totem that just the design is awesome, and it's just literally a totem of all the different ones stacked up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And
cool.
Definitely worth a little extra for the deluxe. Yeah.
If I was gonna get this, I definitely would spring for the deluxe.
Yeah, definitely.
Which the gameplay is also, if we want to just get into.
Yeah, let's get into some of the gameplay. As we kind of alluded to a little bit earlier. You're just not.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in the game very much.
So, like we said, on your turn, you will have 3 cards in your hand, and you're going to play one of 3 of them. You either play one of the colors to put down a totem or a tent. In order to kind of do playing all 3 cards, you're going to play, let's just say, blue color. Then you play 2 other matching colors that will act as wilds, so that you can play a second totem, and a tent. And the whole thing about this is each kind of area on this board is controlled with different of these circular points that you're trying to capture by placing down the cards with your tents, which will act as the area majority. And the whole thing about this, as simple as just playing a card down and put your tent and totem, it's really the timing of this whole thing. That's like the whole game is timing of when do I need to play my totem now in this area. Like during our one game, Aiden would I get into a territory and he just immediately would play his totem down, and I got so pissed every time. I was like, God, fuck you.
Well, and the other thing about the timing of it too is you're going to play 2 rounds. You're going to go through the deck one time and have a scoring round of area majority, and then you're going to play through the deck again, and you're going to do a final scoring, which will be the area majority regions, and then you'll also score for the totems. Whoever has majority of your color of totems in a given region. There's a bunch of adjacency scoring. You have to see the board kind of, but and then that's it. And it's really pretty elegant, and I think is the word we kept coming up with, and simple. And it kept reminding me of like an old, like almost like Reiner Knizia game or something. But I think that's because I think this actually is an older game with like a re-theme or a
Okay.
reskin. I think this game's been done a couple of, I don't know what the original was, but
Let's look into
I
that.
think it is actually maybe a tweaked version, but I do believe it is a re-theme or reskinning or whatever, whatever they say of a older game. So I think that's why it has that older maybe feel to it, but it just definitely feels like a streamline. You could teach it to just about anybody.
Yeah.
Which has a great appeal, I think. And it has was it play up to 5?
I believe so. Yeah, 2 to 5.
So yeah, that fits that.
Thinking about it, just like with the 3 players, 2 players would be, I don't know how great it would be at 2 players, because 3 players, we were already sort of like, one person was able to kind of go off on one half of the map and sort of do their own thing, while 2 kind of kept each other in check almost. But then 1 could just start grabbing up a whole bunch of territories. And I thought, I definitely want to play this more at a 4-player game.
Yeah, I think 5 might be a little chaotic.
5 might be a bit chaotic. 4 might be great because then you don't have just one person kind of going off on one side of the map maybe and starting to capture a majority of these areas, while 2 are kind of keeping each other in check, right? And then you're like, well, crap, this guy, we have to go over there, but I don't want to do it because then it just lets you run free over here where I've already been establishing myself. So I think at 4, at least, it might keep the balance a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. But overall, I think everybody we played it with so far has loved it.
Yeah.
I know I really enjoy it. I recommend it.
And now, and like we played it several times now, and each time, like, I want to we haven't yet to play with the expansion, the Void expansion, which I suppose we'll do a follow-up video about how the expansion works with this.
Yeah, I usually feel like cracking open an expansion box right away and exploring it, but this game
there was enough. There was enough here with the different maps and the different way they were laid out. Yeah, you can just like keep playing those different ones, and each time you're just like, I want to play that one again because I want to try something a little different. And
there's a lot of different strategies in the maps because it makes some of the territories smaller. Some of them will have one big one, and it makes trying to fight over the spots. You really have to kind of look at the whole board at the beginning and sort of try and figure out what you want to go for. But even then, the other players might screw you over, and you kind of got to be able to pivot. But
it's a pretty mean game. You're definitely trying to screw over. If you're struggling with if you like to kind of go off and do your own thing, like in a worker placement or something, this is probably not going to be the best game for you, because it's definitely about keeping your opponents in check. You really kind of need to screw each other over, and
people are going to get in your way and take your points from you.
Yeah,
if they can.
Definitely. And it's. I feel like though the more we do keep playing it and we know the maps, you're probably gonna want something a little bit more, which I think hopefully this new expansion one might be able to step in and add some interesting additional features in addition to just simply playing down your totems. Maybe I'm not entirely sure, but it might be like, it might go more into timing on specific things.
Okay.
There's
just a lot of variety. It definitely comes with a very big variety of boards and just sort of variability in the playing. Like I don't think it's like, we typically don't play the same game over and over, and with this game we were able to, it was just set it back up, play again, set it back up, play again.
Yeah, because it's pretty quick. Like for me, in a single night, I prefer playing multiple different, like a different game, like play a game once and then switch to another. But this, I'm like, all right, let's play another round of this.
It definitely had that like, it was like it had an addictive quality to it. Where you
definitely.
It's so easy to just clear the board and just start over, or flip the board and try a whole nother continent or whatever you're supposed to be doing in this. I don't know.
I think it's the tribes that are like spreading across this world here.
I'm sure there is some sort of theme. I'm putting a tent down, or I'm putting a totem down.
And with kind of like, again, we were saying like how abstract it was, it still kind of feels like you're in this world, like spreading out, like these tribes are kind of like spreading out throughout the land, and they're almost like getting in each other's way.
Yeah, and you get points too in the game if you can connect 4 of your tents together. So if you get 4, you'll get 4 points. But the bigger of a chain you can kind of spread out, the more points you'll get.
And that's definitely where
that was always my you try and block each other.
That was definitely the mean ad. Yeah, it's just like when you were doing it, you were just like off on one side of the board. I'm just like, Aiden, put it there. It'll stop him from
but there's
his chain.
That's where there's so much you can do and so much strategy just within either put down a tent or put down a totem.
Yeah.
Like it's just so simplistic, but there's really a lot to do with just those 2 moves. It's really interesting. I'm jealous. I wanted this one.
You wanted this? Yeah,
I saw it and I was like, I don't know if I'll kick it.
This was actually
more reserved, and now I'm kicking myself for not.
This was one of actually my 3rd game that I ever kickstarted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I am incredibly happy with it. It was it's down there. Set a Watch.
Oh,
did you? Oh, yeah, you haven't played that with me. No, okay. It's an interesting one, but yeah, it was. For a Kickstarter game, it was well worth it. It was not overly priced or like. I suppose you can think of this as overly produced, but honestly, like with some of these smaller pieces. But honestly, it just it just adds some nice feel to this game that like. Not necessary, but are fun. Like there's some games you're just like, wow, you just added a whole bunch of this stuff. That
there's a first player token, and I just play with it the whole time
yeah.
while we're playing.
And I'm sitting here with this totem. It's like it's so cool. It's whatever. It's for a second of like, okay, just to remind yourself where you're scoring points at, particularly on this board. But it's so much fun. I don't know.
Well, it's also my favorite because I finally beat you like every game except for one.
Oh yeah, I know. This is your game that you like. Can really trump me on. Yeah.
Should we do final thoughts, or
some
we
final thoughts? I mean, yeah, we kind of talked about it, but if you like some area majority, you're good with timing, and you like kind of trying to keep your opponents in balance, kind of like playing that, screwing your opponents over, or the whole just which card exactly am I going to pick up after I've put some down in. It's going to be a lot about actually seeing what your other opponents do. You can't really just be about yourself. You're going to have to focus on everyone else. And kind of the cards they're picking up too.
It's a nice game you can bring to a game night too. That's like you can play in 20 to 30 minutes with 3 to 4 people, maybe in 5. We didn't play it at 5, but it gives you that war game sort of area control, hand management feel, but doesn't take 3 hours.
Definitely.
You can just set up and play right again. It definitely, and it looks beautiful. Like I think anybody who walks by
the table
will want to know what the game is.
Oh yeah, if you're at a cafe or something by playing this, I would easily stop by and be like, whoa, what is that? That's the artwork draw me in right away, and I go, whoa, these totems are fantastic, and what is it that you're doing exactly?
Yeah. So I think all in all, we recommend it. We really enjoyed it. And,
I definitely recommend this. If you can find it, pick it up. I remember earlier on when they were like, as this was still in Kickstarter and stuff, who was doing videos? Was it Dice Tower? No. One of the other people were doing just like review videos on it, like when it was first coming out, and they had a poster of this, like the cover of this was in a poster, and it's like on the background, it's just a large poster, and I'm like, for the longest time, like, where the hell did you get that? I want that poster. It is fantastic. Definitely pick it up if this is something that sounds interesting to you, and we're gonna continue to create these review videos, and hopefully you enjoy this. We'd love to give us a tagline to start our videos with, because I didn't think of one. I'm like, it'd be fun if our audience got to give us something funny to start our videos at. But we're Specular Games. Yeah. And Max, where can people find you on social media if they'd like to follow you?
I have Instagram. I think it's at Chimmins, Chimmins, INS or ONS. I don't actually know. That's how often I log on to Instagram.
Okay. And you can find me at ryan.gebi, Gebi. I've been starting to post a bit more of just pictures of the games that I've gotten, new ones I've gotten, just some fun, more artistic ones, but feel free to pause if you so wish.
Yeah.
And catch us on our next video. We'll have to figure out what that one is. Maybe On the Underground. We've been absolutely loving that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that one.
That'd be a good one.
Well, thank you. See ya. Take 3.
Take 4.